Concluding my presidential challenge runs, we're finding out today if you can beat Fallout New Vegas as John F.
What if there was a place with all the zip of Nuka-Cola?
Hey Vegas Rangers, it's been a while. But I brought you some good news. We finally found a solid female companion from outside old Vegas. Heck, like an old redhead we met, she comes from the East Coast. But don't get too excited. She's not like that other one. She's smart, intuitive, but a pacifist. Her name is Lunette.
I'm not after the world yet. When I turn your fellow vault dwellers into
mutants,
my forces will be too strong for any to stand against. But don't worry, you won't care. Care.
Lunette was created by Tommy Infinite and friends roughly around May of 2016. Now, information is almost impossible to recover due to the deletion of the mod page. Not even the Hidden Valley scribes or Calyx can see when it was last updated. For instance, I had Calyx send a holo message across the net for help. And thank you, Tommy, for responding. What I do know is that it comes with complex scripting, quests, and even a possible romance. Oh. But to get to that, we need to talk about her.
The super mutant is the next advancement in human evolution. To save the world, we will convert all the worthy individuals. Simple, efficient, glorious.
Following the vague directions, we tracked down the other pages until we found a young woman standing just outside Hidden Valley. Approaching her was... I'm not gonna spoil it, but it was an experience. She said she lost her glasses, and with the encouraging bark of my dogs, we helped her out. Afterwards, we headed over to Trudy's to talk it out, and learned that Lunette's come very far away on a elegant and very nice, summer, just a summer trip. Just sent out here to go find a G.E.C.K. Well, that requires a little bit more explaining. See, she's out here because her vault needs a G.E.C.K, so her overseer sent her father out. He didn't come back. So, next best thing, send her out, right? But she's been using her Pip-Boy to track it. Now, how that works, I don't know. Lunette explained the mumbo-jumbo of how her Pip-Boy can track down this G.E.C K, this very specific G.E.C K, but does it make sense? I don't really know. I don't think that's how Pip-Boys work, but connecting our signals, we managed to bond, so to say. So, now we just have to travel together and see the sights, go on little adventures to build up our bonding points, we'll call them. She has a modified plasma pistol called the Rejector, because she is a pacifist, and won't take a life. She will be able to carry your things, but she will not wear any armor, much to my dismay, but hey, she's her own person, she doesn't have to wear what I give her. Plus, I am a walking arsenal backed by a cyber dog, a regular canine, and Tennessee tea. Eventually, we were able to isolate the signal, and we came to some hidden bunker up north, just past the west side. The place had seen better days. It was drenched in darkness, so putting on my detective cap and eyeglasses, I wandered around looking for the G.E.C K. It had to be here. And, after more time than I would like to admit, I eventually found it. But, on our way out, we were confronted by a Dr. Grimmer who wanted the G.E.C K, and he wasn't taking no for an answer. And after a very, very grueling battle, fighting off hundreds and hundreds of ghouls and robots, and going toe-to-toe with Grimmer's monstrosity known as the Beast, we lost. He managed to get away with the G.E.C K, but we had an ace up our sleeve. We still could track the G.E.C K with our Pip-Boys, so we just had to do some more adventuring, few side quests that Lunette had, take some pictures, see some sights, and we managed to find Doc Grimmer hiding out in some underground base facility, bunker. I don't really know what it is, just a little north of Good Springs, but it did not stop us, let me tell you. We breached the facility, kicked ass, chewed bubblegum, took names. I insulted Grimmer in the best way possible. We confronted the Beast for one final time, and after a heart-wrenching twist, we went on to confront Doc Grimmer himself. Fighting Grimmer has got to be one of my favorite experiences. He was a really good boss fight, if I'm to put it like that. It was a really good attempt at a boss, and, you know, I'll give credit where credit is due. I had fun. Yes, it bugged out on the first time, but it was really fun. I found it, the music, just the suspense, the amp, amazing. Solid work. And after our glorious, glorious battle, and with one last twist at hand, we escaped with the G.E.K in hand and another man in tow. I really don't want to spoil any of this because I want you to experience Lunette. It's so good that I do not want to say anything, but it caught me off guard what we discovered and who we left with. But once we left, Lunette and I said our goodbyes, and she wandered off in the sunset to head back to DC with her G.E.K. Now, I thought, oh, this is all said and done. Maybe she'll come back. Kicked up my feet, closed my eyes. About a couple days later, I get a message on my Pip-Boy saying, hey, I'm back in town. So, I strode on over to Trudy's to find Lunette back. She decided that our company was so enjoyable, she crossed the East Coast yet again in the span of a few days. That's my one complaint. It's the one thing I have to say. In a few days, she managed to cross it. But, you know, it's a nitpick. Let's just keep going. But Lunette joined us again, and we hit the road. Now, there is one thing we did find off Grimmer. It was a key to his house. So, Lunette needs a place to stay. I'm currently jumping between houses. Look, they blew up the plane. We got kicked out of the mansion. The tree house got a little bit stinky. We lost a war to the squirrels. We're currently looking for a new place. But maybe, just maybe, I could help someone out. And maybe the good fortune above would help me find a permanent home that doesn't get burned down or taken from me. But that's besides the case. After securing Lunette's new home in the Mojave, you know, we kind of got a little close, me and her. Now, hope is still always in my heart, but there's just something about her. You know, maybe it's just a summer fling. And yeah, it certainly turned out to be, but I'm not going to spoil too much about her, but she is so adorable. This is the one romance, female companion mod romance, that I thoroughly enjoy. I thoroughly enjoy this because of how well written it is, and how much I don't feel like a creep. I'm looking at a certain redhead over here. Or when you tell her no, if you reject her feelings, she doesn't just outright hate you. Like a certain blonde I know. Once that's all said and done, what do you have left? Well, in essence, Lunette comes with a great main quest, a fun, wacky side quest, and since you require UIO for this, a great companion who can do plethora of things for you, why don't we go into them? By talking about her.
2 + 2 equals harassing the head of forbidden idiots of the think tank.
Lunette isn't just a scientific photographer, she was a hairstylist according to the GOAT exam at her old vault. Lunette can copy the hairstyle you tell her to, as well as change her hair color, giving you multiple choices to have her look. As she levels with you, it's your choice whether or not she goes the path of the scientist or that of the doctor. This affects how she can interact with you, and in some quests. Lunette was designed to journey with you from very early levels, but even if you start at a late game, there are still some console commands that you can look up. She also comes with a perk, Scholar's Help, which gives you an additional point into your skill points every time you level up. She can also take pictures of you too, and they will go to your New Vegas, I believe it's your New Vegas directory, not your data folder, it's the one before that one, but they will be in, they get turned into BMP files, so you will have to convert them to JPEG if you want to use them for anything.
Breaking news! Talking lobotomite arrives in think tank. Its purpose unknown, undefinable. Its presence here impossible.
I suppose I do have to talk about the mutant in the room. Sorry, you Tennessee, not you Tennessee T. Part of her story is that she walked from DC to Vegas for a G.E.C.K. It's a huge stretch because of how else could she have gotten here? Why this specific G.E.C.K? Why not one in any other revolt? Also, who is Grimmer? What is Grimmer? Grimmer is the main antagonist, if I didn't already say that. It's very clear that he has no presence. He's very one note. I really do wish he was a little bit more than I'm the villain kind of deal. But I'm not going to spoil really anything. I just can't tell you anything about him. I don't even remember why he wants the G.E.C.K. Lunette herself doesn't also seem to really change throughout her quest. This is something that I referred to in my Willow review, that I do like companions who change over time. We'll take another female companion, Veronica. The moment you meet her, compared to the moment after you complete her quest, she is not the same. She's gone through a change. Lunette, however, is still the same. She's still the same upbeat, cautious, slightly more confident personality. Cass, after her quest line is complete, she's either full of vengeance, or just kind of down on her luck, or dead. With Lunette, she doesn't really change. She's just there. And that is one thing I do wish was just there. You know, I don't believe she can be persuaded to even drop her pacifism, or, you know, wear armor. That is one thing I would like for her to do, but that's either a pro or a con, depending on how you see it. You know, my change would be, you know, turn the rejector lethal, or convince her that this, or at least convince her at some point during her quest that this is the way it has to go, or if your choices just affect her that way. I'm gonna reference Dragon Age for a minute. Dragon Age Origins, the companions react to you. When you go through their quests, they have vulnerable moments where you shape them. You can harden them, or you can keep them softened. Like with Alistair, you can turn him, you know, hardened. He won't be as the little goofball he was, but he's different. He's still your friend, but he knows to take things seriously. Liliana can embrace her assassin, her bard heritage, or her bard past, or she can stay the person she thinks she is, she wants to be. It's these little things that make a huge difference, and I feel like a lot of companion mods miss that. But let's talk about her.
I've made a lot of tough decisions since I took this position, but none of them harder than this one. You saved us, but you'll kill us. I'm sorry. You're a hero, and you have to leave.
Lunette was a breath of fresh, non-Muni air, and the fact that the actual relationship takes work for it to blossom is the cream of the crop. It's the best compared to Willow and the redhead never named. She has amazing scripting, characterization, and a standout quest with cinematic flair. I would recommend this to anyone who can look past some grammar issues, which there is another mod out there to fix that. She earns a score of a Nuka Wild with a dash of victory of 4.5 out of 5. She's on the cusp of perfection. This is the perfect. I can see why people have considered her one of the best, top tier in the companion mod slots. And another thing I want to add on to what I like about this mod is its music. It has cinematics, music. It's just, it works so well, and I can't gush about how much I love this. How much I love this companion, because it's clearly a work of passion. With Vanessa, there is passion in it, but it feels different. It's not saying there's not passion. There's still passion behind it, but it's like Lunette is trying to be a part of the world. Vanessa is just trying to be in the world. There's a difference. Like, it's like Delilah. She's a part of the world. She's, vaguely related to Sulik. Has history of Doc Mitchell, helped fix you. She's there. She's someone who can just easily work her way in. With Vanessa, it's really just weird. She stands out. If you put them side by side, one of them you could probably guess is Vanilla if you took someone who's never seen Fallout New Vegas before, and the other one is just clearly modded in. But that's enough for now.
What you've seen is just a sliver of what this facility can provide. If you wish to see more, all we require is the press of a button. Display your utility to us, and perhaps we'll allow you to join our little enclave, and allow you access to all this place is capable of.